For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit seventhwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome. It's time for expansion. It's time for vibrational attunement and channeled messages with the mothers. This is Conscious Conversations with Angela Blaha. In our program today, you will learn about new states of consciousness and seek unity within yourself. Now, here is your host, Angela Blaha.
Hello, and welcome to today's show, Conscious Conversations. I'm Angela Blaha, and we are taking live calls again today. So if you have a question for the energetic light beings that I channel, that I call the mothers, please call in, or you can email your questions to angelablaha005@gmail.com. So again, today we're going to start with a short little message, and we're going to invite the mothers in. And they would like to talk about words. Words. Words are very, very important. They carry energetic vibration. And this energetic vibration either pulls you up into an upward spiral or it pulls you down into a downward spiral. So when you say to yourself, today is just not a good day, you manifest the energy of it not being a good day. And the words that you're using are pulling you into that downward spiral. So we ask that you pay attention to the words that you use and the vibration that it causes within you or that it creates within you. This vibration either pulls you into alignment with your soul's path or it pulls you out of alignment of your soul's path, creating a whole different timeline than what you thought you were on. So the words that you're using are vibrationally aligning you or not aligning you. So we ask that you pay attention, bring into your awareness the kinds of words that you use and how much power they have over you. There are some words whose main purpose is to keep you in an elusive state of being, like the word hope. There's no definitive definition for that word, and so it keeps you in an elusive state of being. That's its purpose. There are other words that pull you into an upward spiral: love, joy, compassion. Those words make you feel good about who you are, and they pull you directly in to love, which is what you are in the purest state of consciousness. So paying attention to the words that you use to describe yourself, to describe how you're feeling, to describe your day, your actions, your thoughts. Be sure that that's really what you're wanting them to be. And paying attention to how they vibrationally move you is very important, especially in the energy that we are manifesting with right now. In the next few days, few weeks, creating this new earth that we're on is all about paying attention to who you are and what you want to be, and how that either pulls you up or pulls you down. So we're going to move into the questions, and we have several today. But again, if you want to have a live call, just call into the number on Angela's page. So the first question is, recently I have learned that I am an empath. Specifically, how do I know where my emotions and experiences start and stop and others start and stop? This is a great question. As an empath, that means that you feel emotions, you feel energy, you feel vibrations, and you take them in and make them a part of who you are, or you know that those, or you can recognize that those are not your emotions, your thoughts, your words, and you simply give them back to the owner. So how do you know where yours are and where someone else's are? It's all about knowing your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own vibration. We were just talking about words and how powerful they are. That's part of being an empath, right? Is knowing and understanding the power of your own emotion, the power of the words that you use, the power of how you describe yourself, the power of your thoughts, the power of your actions. Knowing yourself from the inside out, knowing the triggers that you have, knowing how you fall into a trap. Sometimes there are traps that keep you in an elusive state or keep you in a downward spiral. Some of those are words. Some of those are actions. Some of those are the energy around you. And so how do you know? You have to know yourself. That's the first thing, is to know yourself. Pay attention. Bring into your awareness those words that you use. Bring into your awareness the energy that you have, that you give off. Pay attention to the facial expressions that you use or the body language that you use. That's your energy beings. And everything that you do and say and create is energy. And so the first step is knowing your own energy. How do you work as an energy being? Once you understand that, it's simple to know when energy moves towards you, when someone else's emotions are moving towards you, when someone else's thoughts are moving towards you, because you recognize that if there's a switch in who you are or a drastic change in your emotions, you know that that's not your emotion. Now we know that all of you have gone into a room, just walk into a room, and all of a sudden you're just blasted by this energy, this feeling of being angry or being hurt or being extremely happy, and you weren't the moment that you stepped in, before you stepped into that room. That is knowing and understanding your own energy, how you are, how you operate. That is all about you understanding you and you moving into who you came here to be. So the first thing that you need to do is be aware. What is your energy saying? What does your energy do? How do you think? How do you emotionally, do you understand your own emotions? If not, then that's the first place to start. Okay, moving on to the second question. There's so much talk about energy shifting. What does this mean? Another great question. All of our listeners are just so amazing. So the energy shift. We are in the midst of the energy shift. And what that really means is we are moving, human society, the earth, is moving from a carbon-based body creation into a crystalline energy. And what that basically means is that the human DNA, the human chakra system, is changing into a crystalline chakra system, a crystalline energy system. Now, there are many benefits that go along with this energy change. Living longer, fewer illnesses, being able to use your innate abilities in a much easier stream of being. All of those play into the energy shift or the energy expansion, which is what we kind of like to call it, because expansion means that you're just expanding, right? Shifting means that you have to sort of either go up or down or sideways or right or left or something. And so we call it the exchange or the expansion, sorry. And with the expansion, lots of people are feeling physical illnesses, lots of headaches, jaws, neck issues, stomach issues. Now, some of those are allowing the body to physically purge what it no longer needs. And that makes room for new energy to come in, a new way of being to come in. And the new way of being that's coming in is all about living in a society, living in a new earth where love is the presence. Love is the thing to be. Love is the thing to do. Not having the extremes of the illusion of separation, because you are one beings, having unity consciousness and unity connection so that you can pull from all energies. And so moving into the energy shift or the energy expansion is simply creating who and what and how you came here to be, which is knowing your pure conscious state of being, pure love, which, by the way, only seeks pure truth. And so being authentic and being the person who lives by what you say to be your truth, that is part of the energy shift. And so we hope that answers that question. We're going to wait a few more minutes. We're going to go for a short break, and then we're going to come right back and answer some more of your questions. So again, if you have questions, please call them in, or you can email them to angelablaha005@gmail.com. And we'll go for our break. Thank you.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel. Be extraordinary. Be the change.
In Angela's book, Show Me How to Remember Your Power Through Self-Love and Forgiveness, you'll find an empowering book filled with messages of love and forgiveness. She gives powerful ways to use your own courage, strength, and love to heal your emotional and mental body. You can find the book at Amazon or visit Angela's website at angelablaha.com. The book is available in paperback and Kindle formats. Step back into your power. Get Angela's Show Me's at angelablaha.com.
If you are ready to take control of your health, your relationships, and your life, then tune in to Awakened Hearts with hosts Rebecca and Boyd Campbell. All of us are spiritual beings having a temporary physical experience. Awakened Hearts will help you deepen your connection with spirit. Each program will feature live intuitive readings and special guests. Listen live every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Being Here with Ariel and Shia Kane is an ordinary person's guide to modern-day enlightenment. This show is an exciting exploration which opens the door to living in the moment. Don't miss Being Here. Tune in every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern with Ariel and Shia Kane, right here on the Seventh Wave Network.
The Voice America Seventh Wave Channel.
You are listening to Conscious Conversations. To connect with Angela Blaha or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to angelablaha005@gmail.com. Now, back to Conscious Conversations.
Welcome back, everyone, and we're answering live questions today. Our next question says, what does it mean for a starseed to be activated? Another good question. So, starseeds, Angela is a starseed, which basically means that she can remember being in other planets, other galaxies, other universes. And what happens is they bring some of that energy with them this lifetime to help with the energy expansion, the shift that we're moving from 3D to fifth dimensional energy. And what does it mean to be activated? Means that sometimes star beings come and they get caught up in the human aspects of not remembering, the love or the compassion or the truth that they brought with them this lifetime. And so as an activator, what Angela does is just sort of opens that channeling of remembering up so that they can walk their full path, which is why they came here to be anyway. So activating starseeds is one of Angela's very favorite things to do. And we sort of help with that as light beings, but she's really good at doing it all by herself, so sometimes we don't even help. And so, but we watch, and what we notice with the activation is that once people get an understanding, a logical understanding of what they've been feeling emotionally for probably a really long time, is that they just move into flow of the soul. And that's really empowering, and it just sets people on fire because everything seems to make sense. Like the logicalness of who they are matches their emotions, and they just understand why they're here. And all of the, not necessarily the human life remembering comes back. That's not necessarily what happens. More what happens is the remembering of their love, of how to be love, of how to teach others to be love and compassion and truth, and how to stand in the power of speaking their truth, not in harmful ways, but in loving ways. And so that's what activating a starseed is all about. It's actually just a super beautiful process, and maybe we'll do that at the end of the show. We'll activate. We'll do some activations. Our next question is, what new divine beings are available for us to assist in clearing dense energies or discarnate from our space or environment? Well, there are many divine beings available, and moving from third dimensional energy, which is part of the illusion that you're separate from all the divine beings, is just that. It's just an illusion. And moving into fifth dimensional energy, where everything is at your fingertips, means that you can, connect and use other energy sources that can help you clear dense energy within your space or your environment. So some of the new things that Angela has been using is a pure pearly white, I would say it's pearly white tornado, which comes in and, as tornadoes spin at very high vibrations, they come in and they break up dense energy with the intent to do so. Now, keep in mind that you can use divine beings to come in and take away dense energy, or you can use divine beings to come in and break up the dense energy. Keeping in mind that when you do clearings, to use an intention along with them, because what that does is it sets a clear expectation of what is to happen with the dense energy. So one of the things is this pearly white tornado. Another thing that she's been using to, as Angela is a shaman and also clears energy spaces, she's also been using a dragon to burn up specific kinds of dense energy or dark energy or negative energy, whatever words you would like to use. And what the dragon has been doing is primarily when dense energy is attached to human beings, some of the energy that Angela has been experiencing recently is very strong and it doesn't seem to want to let go. And so the things that she was using prior to that, with extraction work and, kind of pushing energy out, doesn't seem to be working as well as it used to. And so, and of course, moving from the third dimensional energy to the fifth dimensional energy also can sometimes open up not only the good energies coming in where you have unity consciousness, it can also open up some of the more denser energies or different kinds of energies. I wouldn't say they're more dense, they're different types of energies. And that is really what Angela's experience has been recently. And that's why she's called in some of the different kinds of divine beings to help. Of course, there's always angels, ascended masters, archangels. But she likes to play with the elementals as well. And so that's some of the new divine beings that she's been using. Let's see, moving on to another question. Are there any new tools or more effective practices we can use to protect ourselves from absorbing negative energy, being attacked by dense energy, or our energy being robbed? New tools. Let's see. Other than really being strong in your own energy, knowing yourself from the inside out, knowing how your chakra system is working, knowing that the new crystalline energy that you're feeling is very powerful energy. And so use that crystalline energy to, not even use the crystalline energy to not necessarily put a bubble around yourself or anything like that, but use that energy to connect with the other grid systems And to pull from that energy, pushing out that energy. Like Angela has always taught to push love energy out. Push it out from your heart space, from your own chakra system. Push it out so that dense energy can't attack you. Because when moving energy is coming towards you, it's hard to attach itself to you. So if you're constantly pushing energy out, it makes it very, very difficult for, lower vibrational energy to attach to you. And so use the crystalline energy. Start using it to your advantage. That's why it's there. And what the crystalline energy does is it kind of crystallizes the chakras. It crystallizes part of the body as well. But it's a very strong, loving, kind, gentle energy. And when we see a crystal, we think, oh, it's hard and it's, pointed and it's sharp. But that's not really what this energy is about. This energy is a very, very powerful energy, yet it's very, very strong. And so if you begin to push that energy out, combined with all the love energy that you are, feel how that moves through you and out from you. And what it is it's empowering the love and the compassion and the joy and the bliss that you are as an energy being. It's like multiplying that energy even more than you were before. So if you can imagine or feel or just know that that's what you're pushing out now. That's the new tool for you to use that just spreads so much love and so much compassion and so much joy and so much bliss out into the world that the world has no option then to change. So for the new tools that are very effective are to push this crystalline energy out and allow it to, transform when it needs to, because it's very intelligent energy. It knows exactly what to do. And it knows how to, break up dense energy. And it knows how to push away negative energy, to transform it, to transmute it, to change it into a higher vibration, which is really the intent of the crystalline energy, is to really pay attention to, how does it transform? When you're pushing it out and you're watching how confident you are in your own practice of pushing it out, pay attention to what happens to yourself. You don't need protecting, right? Because that empowering love vibrational energy is very, very strong. So I hope that answers that question. We're going to take a little short break and we'll be back in a few minutes to answer some more of your questions. So be sure to either email them in or to call in live. See you in a minute.
Be visionary. This is the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
In Angela's book, Show Me How to Remember Your Power Through Self-Love and Forgiveness, you'll find an empowering book filled with messages of love and forgiveness. She gives powerful ways to use your own courage, strength, and love to heal your emotional and mental body. You can find the book at Amazon or visit Angela's website at angelablaha.com. The book is available in paperback and Kindle formats. Step back into your power. Get Angela's Show Me's at angelablaha.com. We are all searching for a deeper meaning in life. The possibility exists to create our life from the perspective of our true divine nature, where the experience of joy, love, abundance, freedom, and peace is our birthright. On the Inner Frontier, host Darlene Green presents a new topic every week with a high-frequency conversation to support a gentle revealing of the divine that is unique to you. Tune in every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America 7th Wave Channel for the Inner Frontier.
It's time to wake up and transform into your higher self. Tune in to Lighten Radio with host JZ Bound. This is a show that's meant for you if you're seeking your highest and fullest potential. It's already within you. All you need to do is discover it and nurture it to reality. JZ is an intuitive and health and ascension facilitator. Get ready to connect to the divine and your authentic self. Be here for Lighten Radio every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
This is the 7th Wave Channel on the Voice America Network.
You are listening to Conscious Conversations. To connect with Angela Blaha or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to angelablaha005@gmail.com. Now, back to Conscious Conversations.
Hello and welcome back again. Again, we're taking live calls today, so if you have a call, please, or a question, please call in. So our next question: since we all have the same innate abilities and source energy flowing to and through us, do we really have limitations? We say no. The limitations that you experience are created by only you. Source does not create limitations for you. Unity consciousness does not create limitations for you. Those are created by your own experiences. So let's take an example of how Angela has experienced limitations. When she was younger, her father was she grew up in an alcoholic home, and her father was angry sometimes. And one day she experienced his anger by drawing his hand up, and he had gestured that he was going to hit her or harm her. And it was all due to some words that were attached to the gesture, which he said, you're lazy. Basically, he indicated that she was lazy. And so the limitations that went into cell memory for her were the thought process that she was lazy. And so what she's done her whole entire life is she's overcompensated for that. She's held several jobs at one time. She was going to school to get her master's degree, working a full-time job, and had, a family at home with 3 young children. And so the limitations are primarily set by belief systems that you have that are created when you are younger. Primarily, belief systems come from when you're younger. And they're created by the experience and the emotion and the thought that's attached to them. And so having innate abilities means that you are connected to everything and everyone. And when source energy flows through you, source does not create limitations. Those are your responsibility. So thank you for that question. It's a good question. Our next question: with so much emphasis on our feeling body and the law of attraction, when we are working on healing the emotional body and allowing ourselves to grieve or mourn the past, are we only asking for more of that experience? Another really good question. So healing the emotional body. So this is how the energy system of the human body works. You have thoughts, emotions, actions, words that all get combined together. And when you allow the releasing or the grieving or mourning of any one of those things, a thought, an emotion, generally they're attached to each other, so they go together. If you allow yourself to release that, there should be no more experience of that. So, healing the emotional body is very wise. However, if you come in and you do not have a good understanding of how your emotions are, how you operate as an emotional being, and emotions can be tricky. They can sometimes intermingle with each other, and they can hide on top of each other or underneath each other. And they can create disillusion or illusion. And they can create thought patterns that really are not yours, especially if the emotions are not yours. So earlier in today's show, when we talked about how words play an important part, how it's important to know yourself from the inside out and how you work as an energy being and how you think, how you emotionally perceive things to be, those are all extremely important things to know about who you are. Now, if you allow yourself to grieve or mourn the past, grieving is also one of those sort of disillusioned words that say that you have to allow something to totally be removed from you. Now, that's not always the truth. Sometimes you can allow yourself to change an emotion or a word or a thought, and that releases the emotional body. So you can never have the same experience again, though. So if you're releasing something from your past, and Angela mourned her grandmother for years, and she couldn't quite figure out, why it was happening. She's, has a master's degree in psychology and counseling. She knows that mourning someone for 25 years isn't the norm, but that's really what was happening. And every time she went back and experienced herself in her mourning or her releasing of her emotions being attached to her grandmother, there was a very special attachment there. But every time she went back to sort of review and ask herself, what's really happening here? Why am I still grieving, my grandmother who's been gone for such a long time? Each one of those experiences was never the same. So you can't have necessarily an experience over and over and over. It changes every single time. Because we are changing beings. We are in constant change. And each time you experience something, it's got a little bit of different tweak to it. It's never identical. So if there's something in your emotional body that you are feeling, allow yourself to let go of that. With Angela's grieving her grandmother, what she understood, or what came to be, was that she missed that unconditional love that she felt around her grandmother. And so her grandmother basically told her to embody that, be that, become that, and then you no longer miss it, which she did, and that is the truth. Once you become that energy, that aspect, through unity consciousness, you connect with that energy all the time and you no longer miss it. So allowing yourself to heal the emotional body is what we're here to do, but you never experience it in the same way twice. So no, you're not asking for more of that experience. What you're doing is sometimes you dive deeper into the experience so that you can heal up more aspects of the emotional body, or the healing work that you're trying to do, or the releasing of it, or the embodiment of it. And other times what you're doing is you're just saying to yourself, well, I don't really want to experience that anymore. I'm just going to release. I'm just going to let it go. And then your perception changes, which ultimately heals up the emotions. Changes the thought, changes your words, which ultimately will change your actions. So the experience, again, is never experienced the same way twice. So we hope that cleared that question up. Next question is, are tears really resistance or the releasing of resistance? Well, that's a good question, and it can be either way. The point of knowing if you're resisting something or if you're releasing something is to know who you are as an energy being. I guess today we cannot say that enough. Is to really know who you are, and then you understand if you're resisting, and if tears are resisting. When Angela began to embody us and began to channel us, there were a lot of tears. At that time, it was resistance, because we were a bit overwhelming for her physical body, for her emotional body. The love that we carry is very, very strong. And so it was resistance at that time, because she didn't quite understand how it would work with who she is. Since then, of course, it's changed. And she does cry ever so often, but it's really all about knowing and understanding what she needs to release in order for there not to be any resistance. And so maybe the question is similar. Are tears really resistance or the releasing of resistance? So knowing yourself, understanding if you're resisting something, why are you resisting it? Taking steps or actions to, stop the resistance. And then moving into, accepting who it is and why you're here and, what's happening. So sometimes it can be both. And it really depends on who you are as an energy being and if you're resisting or if you're releasing. Sometimes, you just need a good cry just to release stress. Maybe it's not anything that you're resisting, but maybe it's just the stress of accumulated fight or flight. So we hope that answers that question. And again, taking a few more live calls, I think, excuse me. I think with that, we'll take a break. We'll be back in a few moments.
Voice America 7th Wave Channel. Seek greater awareness.
In Angela's book, Show Me How to Remember Your Power Through Self-Love and Forgiveness, you'll find an empowering book filled with messages of love and forgiveness. She gives powerful ways to use your own courage, strength, and love to heal your emotional and mental body. You can find the book at Amazon or visit Angela's website at angelablaha.com. The book is available in paperback and Kindle formats. Step back into your power. Get Angela's Show Me's at angelablaha.com. Sometimes in the busyness of daily living, we can forget who we truly are as spiritual beings, with intent and purpose fueling our goals and dreams. Remembering begins with navigating belief structures, family or cultural expectations, and history, so we can find our way. Listen in to Timeshare with host Marie Jackson. Marie and her regular contributors discuss life's questions, challenges, obstacles, and rewards, all bringing us to the spirit of who we are. Timeshare with Marie Jackson can be heard live every Thursday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Time on 7th Wave.
This is the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
You are listening to Conscious Conversations. To connect with Angela Blaha or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to angelablaha005@gmail.com. Now, back to Conscious Conversations.
Hi, and welcome back. And we're answering questions today live with the mothers, the energy beings that Angela channels. So our next question is, as an extension of source energy, is there really anything to fear? And if so, why do we put so much emphasis on being afraid of the dark? That's a good question. I don't really know why human beings put so much emphasis on being afraid of the dark, as it is just simply another color. I think the fear about being afraid of the dark is the fact that it's hard to see. But if we used our innate abilities, using our third eye and unity consciousness and being connected to anything and everything, that having the sense of sight is really a perception. So is there anything to fear? No. There really is nothing to fear. And as you work through the fifth dimensional energy, there's more and more remembering coming about who you are as a being of light. And with that comes the understanding that fear is a word that primarily keeps you afraid or keeps you in a downward spiral, right? Because the more things that you're afraid of, the less active you are as a human being. The less you go out in public, maybe. The less you climb trees because you're afraid of heights. And fears can sometimes be past memories of, past lifetimes or this lifetime, and things that are perceived to be a threat to you. If you were to go into the emotion and into the memory and the thought of what you're afraid of, the perception, that's those belief patterns that are ingrained in you when you're young or younger, that those patterns create that emotion. They keep that fear alive. So if you were to dig into that a little bit, which we had just talked about, right? Going deeper into an experience, You may find that the perception at that time was false. And that now is an opportunity to create a new perception, eliminating fear. And source energy has no fear, because source energy knows and understands exactly, what it is that keeps you safe. And it's really a perception change. It's the way that your thought patterns are, the way that maybe your emotional patterns are entangled with your thought patterns, creating beliefs that were created maybe when you were 2 or 3 years old that really have no premise in today. So dig into those emotions that you have, dig into those fears, into those thought patterns, into your beliefs. And ask yourself, is this really my truth? Is this really what I believe today? Is this what I know the world to be like today? So we would like to do a little bit of a meditation to leave you with today. And so if you would like to join us, please take in a nice deep breath and pull all of your energy into your lower chakras or into your chakra system on the exhale. And let's do it again. Pull in out or breathe, take a nice deep breath, and then pull your energy into your chakra system. And take another nice deep breath in and settle in to who you are. And feel the love. Feel that hominess. The experience of comfort and joy. And now we're going to activate the star seed energy that lives within you, that lives within your own innate abilities to connect to source energy, to unity consciousness. So we're going to take that hominess feeling and we're going to allow it to expand, and just allow your soul to get big. Allow it to expand into the room that you are in, outside of your home or office. And now allow all the telomeres that you have to open up and activate and receive photon light. And allow yourself to go through the central sun. And let's just be present with the sun, the central sun. Just notice what you notice. Just enjoy being there. And if it has a message for you, then ask for your message. And as you look out beyond the central sun into other galaxies, other planets, other universes, remember that portion of your soul's existence. And when you remember that little piece of who you are, we want you to come back into your body, back into your own energy system. And you can try this throughout the day and maybe stay there a little bit longer, but we want you to experience the star energy of who you are. And bring it into your everyday life. Bring it into who you are. So take a nice deep breath in, and if you close your eyes, you can open them. And we want to thank you for being with the mothers today. And Angela has a few announcements for you. Thank you, mothers. I love the mothers. Their energy is so amazing, isn't it? I'm sure you can feel it when you listen to us. Listen to them, I should say. So I have a retreat coming up at the end of April in Meridian, Mississippi with Miss Jenna Ward. More information about that can be found on my webpage at angelablaha.com. Next week, my guest will be John Burgos, creator and founder of Beyond the Ordinary Show, an amazing being of light as well, John is. And if you have any comments or any ideas or any response to today's show or any of the shows, I'm greatly appreciating everything that comes in and every comment that comes in and every experience that you have. So if you'd be kind enough to share that with us, we'd be honored. And until next week, we hope that you have an amazing, amazing week. All our love to you, as we will see you next week. Thank you and take care.
Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Conscious Conversations. Be sure to join Angela Blaha for another edition next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America 7th Wave channel. Until our next meeting, have an extraordinary week.